Pavel, how are you? Why does breast milk contain sugar? Contains a lot of other things, mate, as well. You know, so it's a growing child. It needs that. Sugar plays an important role in as the brain develops. It needs energy. That's one thing, and that's what a child does. It's growing outside because it can't grow inside sufficiently. So the rest of the growth happens outside. That's one factor. It also basically it also it stays in ketosis as well, so it's got a lot of ketones. Children will flip in and out very easily. The other thing is you need also for glycosylation, another factor. Remember, we're not talking about massive quantities here. Yes, there is sugar, but even in general milk, when you look at the sugar, I can have a liter of milk and I'm going to get 50 grams of carbohydrates. So that's still ketosis levels. So we're not talking about massive amounts by anyone's, but it has its purpose in those early growth days, and actually even inside through the placenta, you will get certain things at the same time. So I'm not demonizing sugar. Sugar's still needed for the brain and for the red blood cells, but the rest of the body can do with fat. And that's why these children are in ketosis. They're using the sugar for their brain, for their red blood cells, and for a whole lot of other biological process, glycosylation as it's called. And then the rest, because remember, they still don't have the capacity to do a lot of the gluconeogenic sort of things that we can do as we're getting older, because a lot of these things are still being refined from early age and being developed in our bodies and all that. And so they're in a sort of when you're in a bit of a growth spurt, you're going to have slightly higher insulin. That affects glucagon levels. So there's a whole lot of reasons. A child's metabolism is very different from an adult's because it's growing. And because it's growing, it needs growth factors, and sugar is a growth factor. So there's, as I said, a whole lot of different reasons why a child needs these things and an adult doesn't. So, very different state of metabolism and even genetics turned on and turned off. And then when we go beyond that growth stage, then a number of those genes get turned off. And if they get turned on again in an inappropriate way, they create other types of growth which are inappropriate, which cause health problems.